Hey y'all, Jamie, that's me here. Listen, I am here for us to talk about Big Brother season 27. Now, I have taken some notes, y'all, and I feel like my notes, listen, for the people that have been watching all of the episodes, I plan on like recapping 1 through 4. Let me see. Y'all, my notes, I don't know what my notes is giving because I feel like so much was going on, but we're going to talk about it and hopefully you guys enjoy it all the same. You all, quite a few of you guys did request that I review Big Brother, so hopefully you guys are watching the video, you're sharing the video, and you know what I'm saying, you also liking up the video. All right, we are going to get into a few things. I'm going to try to make my reviews a bit more easier for myself and really just talk about what highlights, right? Talk about a few of the highlights of the episode for me, and likely discuss those with you guys as we go forward. It looks like Big Brother comes on like 3 different times throughout the week, and then we also get live feeds, right? So I believe it's going to be Sunday, it's going to be Wednesday, and Thursday, from my understanding. So yeah, let's talk about it. All right, this crew is very much so a interesting bunch, and the first person we have is Kelly. Okay, Kelly is 29 years old. She's a web designer from South Dakota. Y'all, about episode 4, Kelly got on my damn nerves. I'm not scoot back up off me. Kelly got on my nerves. Not gonna hold you guys. I understand that she's a bit awkward, although she's very well traveled. She doesn't, typically come off as other individuals. Like I believe she may have grew up on a farm or in the country, some type of quiet areas. Not a lot of people in the community, so she is going to be maybe different than others that may have grew up in a bigger town or something like that. However, some of her decisions was like, "Girl, are you okay?" Right? Have you watched this show before? Have you played the game before, girl? Like, what are you doing? But anywho, it is what it is. Zach, he's 27. He's a marketing manager from Cartersville, Georgia. Okay. Zach is very handsome, but Zach, I feel like we got to keep our good eye on you too. Actually, honestly, there isn't a single person in the game when you're watching Big Brother that you cannot not keep your eye on. You got to watch everybody, okay? Because everybody will put up a front and make you think that they're your friend when really they're not. All right. We also meet Ashley, who's an attorney from New York City, and she thinks her weakness will be a boy. Mm-mm. Ashley, as we watch some of the episodes, it looks like your weakness may be a shower, honey. Your weakness may be you. But let's keep going, right? Riley is from Louisville, Oklahoma, from my understanding. He is a professional bull rider. That's that. He seemed like he may be ready for whatever, but let's keep going. So Amy is an insurance agent from Stockton, Cali. She worries that she will blow up on somebody. Amy gives that type of energy that she gonna snap off on you at any moment. But I don't know, Amy, you give the energy of Rachel in my personal. Okay. But I don't know if you would really blow up on somebody. Maybe you will, but you're not coming off like that. But we shall see. All right. So Adrian is a carpenter from Texas. He also has a praying mantis mansion or something like that he manages in his home. So I'm wondering who's watching the praying mantises while he is away. Okay. We also have Lauren, who's 22 years of age. She's from Louisiana with a degree from LSU, and she is a bridal consultant, from my understanding. When I saw Lauren, I said, "Oh, baby, Lauren is giving what's his name? What's his name from Cartersville? Zach." Lauren was definitely giving Zach's type, and I feel like I clocked it accordingly, right? Now, Keanu, he's a personal trainer from Texas. He was named after Keanu Reeves, and also he's a dungeon master. Now, honey, when he stood up in front of everybody and told them what he was as far as being a dungeon master, baby, the way Mickey, and we'll learn more about Mickey in a second, sat up there and was thinking nasty thoughts. Get your mind out the gutter. Now, some of my highlights from the episode was Zach was told to not simp, but Lauren is his type and he thinks that she's stunning. So he is slowly going to be migrating his way over there to getting to know her. Now, different people mention how much of a fan they are of Big Brother. And I'm like, they're saying, "Oh, I'm a big fan of, Big Brother," or whatever the case is, but I'm not going to let these guys know how much of a fan I am. And it's like, listen, at this point, with 27 seasons under their belt, any and everyone should walk into the house assuming that everyone at this point is a huge Big Brother fan. Everybody. Now, granted, I've watched Big Brother back in the day, taking some time off. I've seen, the celebrity Big Brother. So I've watched it before, but it's been a minute. Okay, so I'm diving back in there, you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna talk about it. Now if I went on the show, y'all might want to worry about me because, well, not in a good way, because I'm the one of the people that don't be knowing all the ins and outs, even though I've seen a few seasons. However, let's keep going. So, whole time they're exploring the house, the countdown is on. All right. There are more house guests that will be coming, from my understanding. They have Catherine, who's a restaurant server from Carolina. You have Vince, who's unemployed from Cali, child, and his thick mustache. You have Mickey, who I'm rooting for. I'm not gonna hold y'all. She's the event curator and she's from Atlanta. And honestly, because she's from Atlanta is the reason I'm rooting for her. Oops. Yeah. So Jimmy, a strategy consultant from DC. He says that he was laid off recently. And I said, must have been the Trump layoffs that happened. Unfortunately for him, he was laid off. He says that he's ready to lie though, because he loves to do tennis. So he gonna tell everybody he a tennis coach. Baby, Jimmy gonna be very. I could tell right out the gate from watching him how I said, listen, the personality is given. Jimmy is gonna be one to watch. And baby, Jimmy, you funny. You a little piece of funny. Jimmy tried to have a moment, y'all. It was funny. Anywho, you also have Morgan. She's a gamer and a model. You have Zay. He is a door-to-door salesman. So he's used to the door being slammed in his face, honey. Will is 50 years of age. He's married with children. And he also is a college sports podcaster from Charlotte. He also was in the military too. Now, Ava is an artist from New York City. So she feels like she could like draw your aura based on you sitting in front of her. She can read your aura, tell the type of person you are, draw your aura based on colors and stuff like that. So we'll see how helpful that's going to be for her while she's in the house. All right. I was more so liking the second group of people that went into the house, because I said, okay, I feel like we have some very interesting people. Okay. So people you can't fully get a read on a bit, but the second group seemed to be like more exciting and likely to bring a bit of the drama into the house. Now, Mickey already at the house flirting with Riley soon as she get in there. Over there trying to wear his hat and everything. So I guess she finds a little bit of attraction to this man. Or are you over there trying to see if you can get him to crush on you early on so you'll know how to use him at a later time in the game? Who knows? So the first task is for them to find Julie, okay, and find the HOA Trellick. Okay, so Julie ends up going missing. I forgot what they call the guy that's coming on the screen with the mask on, and he's telling them the deets and this and that. And now it's up to y'all to figure out where she's at. So the first challenge, I was wondering who was going to be the person not giving all of their effort, because usually when you go into the first challenge, people don't want to be on the chopping block so early, so they like to play themselves up to be like, oh, I don't really want to show them my skills. I don't really want to show them what I could do, because if I do that and I really go all in, then the target's gonna be on my back. So they're a bit nervous. All right. So when I was wondering who that person was going to be, it looks like it was going to be Riley. Riley did not want to put all his effort in. He didn't want to be a target on anybody's back. So he was kind of sabotaging himself just a little bit, as well as Mickey. Okay. Now, Zach played it well by watching Adrian, though, because when it came down to it, I believe they were putting the lava pieces together for this first challenge, I believe. And then they had to run over, listening to the doors, trying to hear the sounds and stuff, different things that the host is saying. And based on what it is that she's saying, kind of identify, find the right key for it, unlock it. Well, baby, let me tell y'all, Zach played that real well. Adrian was running around, listening to the doors, listening to everything that was to the speakers on the doors. And once Zach saw that he went and listened to all the doors on the bottom, Zach ran, which was very smart. As much as I was like, oh, dang, I wanted Adrian to get that. As much as I may not have liked it, Zach played that game very well by running upstairs. I see not even just Adrian down there, but other people are down there listening. Nobody's grabbed the key yet. Clearly, those sounds downstairs aren't working. So let me start from the top to the bottom. He goes upstairs. He may have listened to maybe 2 or 3 of the doors, and then he heard the right one, the one that Adrian was going back to, but it was too late because Zach ran downstairs, grabbed the key, came in, and freed our host, honey. Yep, came in, honey, and freed the host. That's something. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Ain't that something? Julie was free. She was missing a shoe, honey, but Julie was free, and it was all because of Zach. Zach was so happy and so excited. I was kind of like, you didn't even put in on this for real. But at the same time, he did a good job. Now, when it came down to the second challenge, can't remember what that one was, but I did make note that Jimmy ended up winning that second challenge. So once they all got back to the house, Julie had to let them know what their prize was. So Zach ended up winning a $10,000 reward. Okay, not $10,000 literally, it seems. He may be able to use it as some type of advantage for him at a later time, which is why they say reward. And then you got Jimmy over here, who has to choose 4 people to play for HOA. I mean, I'm sorry, HOH. So Nobody's ready to be the HOH, of course, because they don't want the target on their back. When you become the HOH, you have to make very difficult decisions, and people are likely going to feel like you're not trustworthy. And then some people are going to come to you trying to make deals, and you can't really tell who fake and who not. Even though that's the strategy of the game, sometimes it's 10 times more when you're dealing with being in the HOH position. So now Jimmy has to choose people that may not even want to compete. All right. He did choose those few people. I can't even remember who all he chose. I feel like Ashley could have been one of those people. We definitely know Vince was one of those people. I can't remember everybody, but I will say that Vince won. Wins the first HOH, and he has to choose 3 people that have to be evicted, okay, from the house. However, before we really can get into some things, Rachel Riley returns. Everybody was super excited. She was on Big Brother a few years ago, and she did win the show, okay? So people were excited, like, okay, this is dope. That's exciting to have a winner amongst us, but at the same time, wait a minute, we got a winner amongst us. Like, what you think you doing? Did you already get your bag? Like, why you back? Can we get a bag too? It's hard out here for a PM. So she's back. Now the mastermind, that's what they're calling them. The mastermind is telling them, like, listen, not only is she back, but I also have an accomplice. Yep, that accomplice helped me steal that relic, that HOH relic. The accomplice helped me cut these lights off and unlock the door for Rachel to even come through for y'all to have an extra guest in the hotel. Okay. What they call it, mystery or it's not mystery, but I think it's mystere. Anywho, okay, y'all gonna have to find out who that accomplice is. All right, now if y'all find out who the accomplice is, then good. Y'all can go ahead and get them the heck up out the house. But if not, I hate it for you. Good luck. Okay, so that's what's going on so far. Now let us go ahead and get into episode 2 from what I took from my notes. So everybody's trying to figure out who the accomplice is. Now, y'all, I'm not gonna hold y'all. At one point, I felt like it was Ashley. The way Ashley was lagging so bad in different competitions made me question if it was her. But we ended up being proven wrong. Okay, so they voted for Zay and they voted for Riley, but Riley, I believe, got more votes. And when it came down to the mastermind admitting who they believe or who the actual accomplice is, Riley said, let me go and take my hat off and sit it right here because I'm not going to motherfucking place because I already told y'all it ain't me. Come to find out, it wasn't Riley. They thought it was Riley because when they all first got into the hotel Mystere, I think that's how you say it. But once they got into their living space, Riley had to run to the bathroom. So because he had to run to the bathroom, everybody was believing like, oh, it must have been him because that was the perfect time for him to run away and then to go and pull all the little schemes and scams that he pulled. Child, whole time the person been there hiding in plain sight. Ain't that something? So that's when we learned that it was Amy, y'all. Amy, the mother. Amy, the one that said, she doesn't want to have to blow up on anybody. Well, girl, you already blowing everybody's spot up right now, ma'am. Okay, she cut the countdown on for the lights to be shut off. Once the lights were shut off, she used her handy dandy remote to go ahead and hide the relic from the people. Then she also pulled the light fixture down, I believe it was, for the door to unlock for Rachel to come through. So, girl, you already blowing up people's spot. What you talking about? So everyone introduces themselves to each other. Everybody going around talking about it, and that's when Keanu mentioned, him being a dungeon master. That was the only thing I took from that conversation. Well, it was 2 things. One, him talking about being a dungeon master and Mickey's mind going to a terrible place. And Rachel, like, this is cute. This cute that we all sitting up here getting to know who each other is, but I know at some point we all gonna flip and turn on each other. So this really means nothing. But y'all are really just giving me tea. Give me as much and let me collect as much information on y'all as possible, just in case I need to use it at a later time. I said, I know that's right, Rachel. Honey. Now, Vince gets the hotel notes, right? And they can't accommodate Rachel. That's what he says. Listen, we can't accommodate you, Rachel, because you was late. And since you were late, girl, you're going to have to be in the have-not room because you're not a half. Yeah, you're a half-not. And I'm going to tell you right now, you get to pick 3 people to be in there with you so you ain't got to feel like you alone. And if you pick these 3 people, they will be safe along with you. All right? So if the HOA was trying to put somebody up on the block, it don't have to be you. You're going to be safe. So they said, listen, I'm telling you right now, be ready because the food gonna be nasty. Yes, the food will be nasty, and the shower not gonna have no hot water. I'm so sorry, but this is just what we do to the half-nots. All right. So who you gonna pick? So she looked around, she thought about it, she picked Will. Because once you pick that person has to pick that person, that person has to pick that person, and so on. So she picked Will. Will picked Zach. Zach picked Ava. So that is where we are. Now, Zach was conflicted because he really wanted to pick Lauren. And I slick wish he would have picked Lauren. But instead, he ended up picking Ava to save all of those people. And I'm like, well, why didn't you pick Lauren? And I feel like the reason he really didn't pick Lauren was because he ain't trying to draw no attention to the connection he got with her just yet. Okay. And also, I would have hoped he would have been thinking, honestly, for my game, seriously, is it going to make sense to save the girl I got a crush on? No, it's not going to make sense to save the girl I got a crush on. So let me just actually save this other person. So, well, yeah, that's what's going on. So they go in a room, honey, and the room is a crime scene. Like the beds are literally sketched out of bodies. Okay. I couldn't. I said, oh, wow. But in an effort to be safe, girl, let me find the best one that fits me. And I would have got right there on the floor. So if I had to roll off, if I rolled off of it, it wouldn't take me long to hit the floor. Okay, I likely would know that I'm slipping. So that's what it was. Okay, now Zach won the 10K reward earlier that day, and this is when he learns that the 10K will be used for his safety. He could buy his safety, he could use it at a veto meeting, and he can give it to the HOA, or he could give it to the HOA. Well, no, I think he would give it to the HOA to use at a veto meeting in an effort to keep him in the house. And he would then have to tell the HOA that he'll have to select somebody else to be on the block. Now, if he doesn't do that, then he gets to keep the 10K. Well, it doesn't look like Zach really needed to use it because he was never on the chopping block to begin with. So it seems like he's still holding on to that 10K for yet another day and maybe another week. So Rachel, and Amy forms the mom squad. Let me tell you something. I feel like this mom squad is more than just mom squad in my personal because they both have a similar vibe. It's like I feel like Rachel gives Big Mama energy. Like move out my way when Big Mama coming through. And I honestly feel like Rachel gives that too, although she tries to play it back like she's just this calm, innocent, like, huh? No, like I'm okay. Like, what are you talking about? Like, like this more demure woman. This more demure woman, right? But you really do give every bit of what you already told us in the beginning that I hope I don't blow up on nobody. Girl, I hate for you and Rachel to get ready to go head to head. But it might be entertaining and something I want to see. But at this time, these girls are so locked in that I don't see them flipping on each other anytime soon. But as much as you guys are the mom squad and trying to make it to the end, out of the two, the one I really would not trust is Rachel. But I would love to see Amy play a very good game here. I would love to see it. Now, Ashley took a shower in the HOH room. Now, part of this is where I blame Vince because Vince told everybody once they got in there and how excited he was to see his room. He said, listen, y'all can come up here and take showers if y'all want to because it's not a lot of showers in there anyway. So Ashley was the first one to take him up on the hour. Take him up on the offer. She goes inside the shower, tell this man, I'm only going to be in here for 10 minutes, y'all. And Ashley was in there for 2 hours. First of all, that's just rude and disrespectful. To me, I feel like that's like really taking a dump in somebody's brand new home. Like, I feel like you're doing too much. Like, that's just crazy. Right? Now, granted, he did say, take a shower, girl. You could have really took you a cute little 30-minute shower, girl. You really could have took you a cute 30-minute shower. Okay? If you went over the 45 minutes, I get it. I'm not going to hold you. I get it. Right? But really, I feel like 30 minutes max. I'm gonna be in there 10 minutes and it ended up being 2 hours. Granted, you was doing too much in his shower, knowing he was tired just like you. He wants to get in the shower. He want to go to bed too. Honestly, I ain't really think Vince wanted to get in the shower. Vince rubbed me as a person that don't take showers like that, but that ain't none of my business. I'm just saying, okay? However, I still feel like he wanted some time to himself, and you overstaying your welcome. You were wrong, and everybody has this whole shower gate thing, but I don't think that it was necessary enough for them to have much of a conversation about it. Y'all used my girl Ashley as an option. Y'all tried to put her up, which it worked in y'all favor, but y'all were trying to do whatever y'all could do to make it a bigger issue so that y'all wouldn't be on the chopping block. Trying to make him feel the disrespect. But I guess anyway, he shouldn't have offered his bathroom though. So at some point, Amy goes to Ashley once she's hearing all these conversations happening, and she's telling her, I think it was Amy that went to her and told her about because Amy really likes Ashley. She's like, listen, everybody around here talking about you, girl. They talking about the shower and stuff. And I just want you to know that it's really not that big of a deal. So I don't think you should give it that much attention. In my personal, I kind of felt like Ashley did exactly what Amy wanted her to do. Even though Amy was telling her, like, I care about you. I really like you. I don't want you to go home. I don't want you to make this an issue. Ashley going back asking, I can't remember who it was that she asked. Was it Catherine? She asked somebody if they had an issue about her taking showers and stuff, and was there a conversation or whatever. And I just feel like that's probably what Amy wanted you to do, no matter how much she make you think otherwise. Like, you now put more of a target on your back. So Vince and Jimmy chat about Vince wanting to have more private conversations at HOH. Okay. He felt like that's the safest place he could go to whisper and have conversations and ain't got to worry about somebody really coming into his room, right? Without him really seeing that they're on their way or they're outside the door or something, right? So at some point, conversations are being had, and like I said, everybody was mentioning Ashley's name. So now Ashley is trying to go back in there where the HOA is. I keep saying HOA, HOH, trying to go in there with head of household to have a conversation to say, hey, I want to make sure you and I are good because at some point he formed an alliance. Vince did with Jimmy and with Ashley. So she wants to make sure they're good, but she keep trying to come in there. And he's like, wait, I'm having a conversation. Like, can you chill? And her panic is making him feel like she can't or doesn't trust him. And because she does not trust him, it's like, well, dang, like, should I really be trusting you? You the one over here panicking, nervous about stuff, something about it. You're not giving the normal behavior that you once gave. So should I be leaning into this? And then you come and you keep impeding, coming into my room. I finally talk to you and stuff, and you act like you got it so much in the bag that now I'm like second guessing this, right? So next thing you know, he's talking to Amy. Amy is a close friend with Ashley. She over there talking to him about it, and then she starts crying. I said, Lord, now she crying. So Amy starts crying over Ashley and how everybody's making this a big deal and how much she loves Ashley. And it would be terrible if, she did not have her in the house and stuff. And I'm like, Amy, I kind of feel like you played your hand wrong. Because even if y'all are in an alliance and he didn't know that, now he's thinking y'all really are in an alliance because you're over here crying about it. So why would I help you and give you a one up in the house when I probably could put both of y'all on the block, one of y'all go home, and that's really helping me. For real, for real. So I already got a person I don't trust. I'm still getting to know you and learn you. It only makes sense. And that's exactly what he did. When it came down to who he's putting on the block, y'all, he puts up Zay, Amy, and Ashley. Now, nobody likes Zay because they feel like Zay got the guns. He's a strong man. He's not going to be the best person in competitions to go up against because they might lose. All right. And so they want to get the men up out the house, I suppose. And it's like, y'all stay underestimating the women, but we need you to continue to do that. Okay. So that's what happens. What I didn't like about this was Vince kept saying that this just makes more sense for my game right now. And I'm like, I guess. It didn't make more sense for your game to keep your word when you had your word with Ashley. Really? You were looking for any other excuse to not get everybody else in the house riled up at you, I guess. But anywho, so he did what was best for his game, as he said. All right. Actually, I think that was us going into like the episode. Was that 3 maybe? No. Okay, so I think that was 2. Okay, so let's get into another part of the episodes. I think this is episode 3. So Ashley wants to talk with Vince, and Vince tells her that he didn't like that she didn't trust him. At least that's how it came off. So Ashley gets upset. I feel like Ashley wasn't really letting him talk, trying to hear him out. She's over there crying. Right? She says she can't trust him now, and I understand where she's coming from. Like I wouldn't trust him either. Now Vince tells her, "Listen, if I win the veto and I save you, like would that help?" She says, "Yes, it would help a lot." But he says in his confessional, like, "Listen, if I won the veto, I still wouldn't save her." I was like, "Ooh, yikes, yikes!" And Ashley says, his words don't mean nothing to me. Because he said, if you win the veto, you can, get in. And next time you get on the HOH, you can put me on the block. She said, I will. I said, I know that's right. So at this point, whatever trust she had in Vince is dead. I do believe that Ashley will be gunning for him, okay, to be on the chopping block 1,000%. She said, I should have never trusted him in that mustache, honey. I hollered. So that's what's going on. Vince is a very shady character. I mean, he literally looks like he is. I'm not gonna clown him too much about him being unemployed because there's so many people being laid off left and right, especially at the earlier part of this year, and they're having to find jobs to even sustain the type of lifestyle they had before because it seemed like it's scarce, right? But as far as Vince, I don't know how long he's been, but hey, listen. If his family got enough and financially able to say, do what you, that ain't none of my, okay, he ain't the only one unemployed, child. Let me keep going. All right. You might as well take your unemployed ass, hello, onto this show. Try and win you $700 and some $1,000. Who wouldn't? Get your ass up. Right. And look, if Vince stays on the show long enough, Vince might end up being able to be some type of influencer of some sort. Who knows? And now he is making money. So good luck to him. Now, Amy and Vince talk, and everything was cool. You know, it seemed like when they were talking, you could kind of hear Ashley still crying, being upset in the background. But Amy was just like, I'm good. Like, I get it. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm straight. It's all good. And I feel like Amy felt the sense of calm because she knew she had Rachel on her side. And she knows how cutthroat Rachel can be with this game. So I feel like ultimately Amy felt safe, but she also made a note. Like, I'm going to make a note of that. Like, don't think you're going to ever play me and I'm not going to get my get back. But I get it. You had to make a decision. And when it comes down to the first HOH, you know, things that weren't personal end up like this is how it goes, right? And also, I don't feel like he really gave Ashley his word. I can't remember, but he gave Amy his word, but I believe he definitely gave it to Ashley. So Zach is getting to know Lauren, and she talks about how she's never been in a relationship because she's a very picky person. And he's like, yeah, first of all, he was shocked. So no, she's never been in a relationship before. She's been on dates, but never a relationship. And I'm kind of like, good for you. Good for you. I think she may be what, 22, right? So maybe it could have been that she wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend when she was in high school. And probably, I don't know, parents try to hold that over your head too. Like, no, you can't get in a relationship with any guy if we're paying for your college, okay? Hello? Now, if he gonna pay for it, then you can start dating. Ain't no telling what it was, but I believe she's 22 years of age. So it kind of does make sense, I guess, if she's never had a boyfriend, but she's like been on different dates and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But he's really taking a liking to her, and they actually are cute. I said, listen, Zach, you could get caught up in Miss Lauren's web if you want to. As sweet and innocent as she looks, I feel like give her more time as the game progresses. She probably gonna be one you need to watch out for. But we shall see because Rachel says she met her husband on the show. So she is here for the showmance of it all. Zach does not want to be distracted by the showmance, and neither does Lauren. And Lauren said, right now, I think it's good that we're friends for now. And I said for now, so that means you attracted. I'm not mad at it. I feel like they cute, y'all. If it were to be something, it would be cute babies. Okay, let's keep going. So, yes, so they're talking and everything is everything, right? We also see that Riley is really liking Catherine. He's really over there vibing with Catherine. I can't get a read on Catherine and whether she's interested, but we shall see how that's going to play out. At the end of the day, they pretty much play a crime scene game, right? Where they had to go around, do a lot of sniffing of mattresses and boxes and identify who the killer was, okay? In this forest that used to be a really nice forest turned a crime scene. So they have to find out, I believe it's like 3 different people that may have committed a crime. And they have to, pick out certain clues from tire tracks to shoe tracks and things and place the name in certain orders for each particular crime scene. And Ashley wins. I should have known Ashley was going to win because I feel like they didn't put the camera on her a lot when she was in the room trying to figure out what's what. Right? So she ends up winning. And when I tell y'all, Vince was so mad he wanted to throw the clipboard on the ground, I hollered. My girl Ashley won that veto. Y'all, I was not expecting Ashley to win this veto at all. I don't know who I was expecting, but I definitely was not expecting her. Matter of fact, I believe they ended up having 2 additional people to help them out with the veto, and it was supposed to be Zach, and it also was going to be Rachel. Okay. And of course, if Zach would have got the veto, he would have got his boy Zay up off the block. And if Rachel would have won, Rachel would have gotten Amy up off the block, but nobody would have been getting Ashley up off. And when I tell y'all, Ashley would have been the easiest person to send out. So shout out to Ashley for flipping this game, shaking things up so bad that they had to go and figure it out. Baby, I said, Ashley, I got to give it to you. I got to give it to you, girl, because you went in there and you did what it is that you needed to do. Okay. So let me roll on over to episode 4 real quick. So so in episode 3, we saw where Ashley won the veto and she saved herself as she should. Vince is struggling to pick a 4th person. And now he's been, questioned, or I'm not going to say questioned, I'll say propositioned, right? So Jimmy approaches him and he pretty much suggests like, yo, you want to get rid of Keanu? And he was like, oh, I never even thought about that. He said, yeah, you should consider it. Now, why Jimmy all of a sudden started coming up against Keanu? I don't know. I would think it's because in my personal, Zay and Keanu are the ones with the biggest guns in the villa. Okay? The biggest guns, the ones that work out the most and all of that. So I see why he would be gunning for Keanu. They're trying to get the muscle up out of the house, but that don't always work. You need to be trying to find a person that's the most intellectual because that also may play a factor as well. But anywho, so Vince says that he's struggling. Okay, he doesn't really know who to pick. He's also considering Jimmy because he like, listen, Jimmy really up here thinking that my HOA eviction is his. Like, no, it's not. I need you to pipe down. I need you to understand that I'm HOH in this house, and you just a bystander. You may give me some clues and tips, but you don't run this because he's coming over here acting like he really running things and he not. So Vince is like, I might put him up just to teach him a lesson. I said, ooh, okay. So he decides instead at the end, y'all, to go with Kelly because let me tell y'all something. Kelly kept coming to this man and telling him, if you put me up on the block, I'll be okay with that. Kelly, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't care how nobody feel. Kelly looked crazy to me trying to prove her loyalty to this man that you don't even know if it is truly loyal to you. Trying to prove your loyalty for you to go up on the block, and now you over here. Once you learn that you're going on the block, now you want to cry. Now you want to be upset. Now you want to whine, wickety whine, because now you're on the blockety block. Girl, that's crazy. I said, couldn't have been me. Don't do that now. You know, I'm not gonna volunteer to put myself on the block, but I mean, I guess I have to sit there if you name me. Now it come to find out, Rachel was the one to hold on, let me go back. So Jimmy, before they got ready to like close everything off, Jimmy said, wait a minute, I have something to say. And you, Keanu, I want you to know I'm coming for you. I'm on your ass. You know why? Because I heard that you have been running around the house telling everybody everything about me and this and that, saying that I'm coming for you, and this, that, saying that I'm a liar and all this other stuff you've been spilling about me. But I'm coming for you directly because you were never in my crossfires before, but now you are. And I'm sitting over here like, Jimmy, you're so theatrical, dramatic, and I love it. I'm not going to hold you. I love it. But you are so theatrical and dramatic. And the way that you sit over here gaslighting this man is funny to me by doing this whole, I'm done. I have nothing else to say. I'm coming for your ass. Like, I was hollering like, Jimmy, no, you did not. No, you did not, honey. And then come to find out, that's the part I was getting at. Rachel was the one to encourage him to do it because he approached Rachel like, yo, you think I should do this? And she was like, I mean, yeah, like you should let him know in front of everybody. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna even remember that. Like, girl, she set him up. Everybody is going to remember that, right? And Keanu, once he finished showing his ass, Keanu was like, "Are you done?" I hollered. That was funny. Now he's starting to question whether Jimmy really said his name, and I'm like, "Oh my god." So he's going over there to talk to Vince and everything. And Vince is like, he said, now I'm wondering if he really told me that. He was like, I mean, well, he kind of said it, but he didn't like say it like that. You know what I'm saying? But he said, okay, Keanu was like, well, I only reacted like that because you told me. He said, no, Rachel told you. He was like, yeah, but then I came to you and you pretty much validated what it was Rachel said. I said, I know that's right. Don't be playing in my face. So Keanu goes to chat with Jimmy. And Jimmy over there pretty much not one to chat at first, but they eventually talk. And I feel like Jimmy was playing semantics and lying, saying that he didn't tell Vince to put Keanu on the block. Well, you did tell Vince to consider it. So yeah, that's him putting him on the block because of your influence, period. So Jimmy says, he's still gunning for Keanu, but he's gonna try to be smart about it because after they talk things through, they're now cool and okay. No, they ain't. No, they're not. Now, Kelly over there looking crazy because she running upstairs and she crying and stuff. She says, no. This was after she was crying. She's over there talking to Vince and she says, well, listen, I feel like me running off crying was a good look. He said, oh, I thought it was real. She says, I mean, yeah, it was, but it was still a good look to everybody else because, they don't know that we're, connected. And it's like, girl, them folks know what's going on in the house, ain't you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. You're not fooling anyone but yourself. But anywho, I said, I hope she plays this right. I hope it works out for her in the end. I know she was just trying to gain a bit of loyalty. And I wasn't really ready for her to go home yet because she's trying to prove her loyalty a little bit. It's like, hopefully she's saved, right? But then at the same time, it's like, if you do go home, I have to shrug my shoulders because this is what you wanted. And this is the risk that you take once you put yourself on the block or volunteer yourself to go on the block. Like, come on. So Zay decided to pull all the guys in one room, meaning Will, Riley, Zach, and Vince, including himself. And they're trying to form some type of guidelines because he already knows some other lady. I believe Rachel. I think at this point he knows Rachel may be on his ass because she wants to save her friend Amy. So he's like, listen, I'm trying to get my alliances together and I feel like we can call ourselves the Burger Boys. And it's just so funny. It's so funny. And what made it hilarious was how he tried to label each person as a part of the burger, whether somebody was the bread, the tomato, the lettuce, the onions, the meat, and it was so funny. But anywho, so most of the day, everybody's trying to figure out their game plan and what they're gonna do, who they're gonna vote for, how it's gonna be, what's what, right? So Zay learns that Rachel is advocating for him to be gone, and he talks with her. And I thought this was funny because he tells her like, "Listen, I just want to let you know that I'm going for HOH, and if I get HOH, then guess what? I'm not going to be saving any of the people that voted for me." Right. And if you voted for me to go or whatever the case was, then you're gonna be on the block. And she was like, okay, and I don't know what you're telling me that for because I plan on going up for HOH too. So there's that. You ain't telling me nothing. And you better be careful how you talk to the queen. I said, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Let it go down. Let it go down. So then Rachel, she gets up and she walks off. I said, Rachel, girl, listen, Rachel, you might get on my nerves at some point, but right now ain't it. Right now ain't it. Right now, I can say, aside from me rooting for Mickey until things changes, I am here for the mom squad, y'all. As a mom, I am here for the mom squad, just a little piece. And I'm also here for Jimmy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm here. Now, a part of me is here for Keanu, especially when he talks about his dad and the cancer that he's dealing with and how he's noticed his dad wanting to give up. And I just really, y'all, I really felt for Keanu. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I want him to stay in this game as long as possible. If he goes on to win it, that would be awesome, especially for his family. I know the money he wins would help out tremendously with his father's cancer treatments. In addition, he said, should anything happen with his dad, he doesn't want his mom to have to worry about anything. So this money would do so much great things for Keanu and his family. So I can't help but root for him, y'all. I love us. I love I don't even want to say a sob story because this is his real life, but I love a story that I can connect with, right? And I'm definitely rooting for him. I am rooting for the mom squad, more so Amy than Rachel at this time. I'm liking the mess and the drama a little bit. And then my girl Mickey. So they're my four right now until something changes. Okay. Y'all let me know who y'all room for. Even though we so early on in the game. We're so early in the game. I know, girl. 1 week. I know. And you know what's crazy? After watching Love Island, I might want to hold my notes because the people I was rooting for definitely disappointed me by the middle of the season. Okay. They had me twisted and turning. So let me wait. However, it's time for them to play the blockbuster game. And when they play this blockbuster game, there are different words on different screens. Okay. They're going to be out of order, but you have to put a word together. You have to put together the phrase, right? And so what I noticed was that Kelly was not really sure. She wasn't sure. Kelly just walked over and grabbed something in my personal. She was not sure. She went and grabbed a crown. She wasn't sure. And what I noticed was that Zay saw her grab that crown, so he went and grabbed that crown too. And even before all of that, I noticed that also Kelly was close to her podium. Then she started walking up more. Then I noticed that Amy was trying to stay closer to the podium just in case she needed to beat her to buzz in, but you still have to grab your item. So my girl Kelly went over there, grabbed her crown or whatever it was, walked to one side. The other side just said, forget it. I'm just going to put this on here and see if this works. She put it up there, nailed it. Come to find out, she won the blockbuster. When I tell y'all, it's just, shout out to I have to give it to Kelly. I have to give it to Kelly. I have to give it to Ashley. I do feel like these are individuals that people may have underestimated based on their appearance or how they talk, how they may carry themselves. So it's like shout out to those ladies because they are beating out the people you probably would expect to beat some of these challenges. And she saved herself. I said, as she should have, even though she was a little annoying. But this is what really made her, well, one, the first thing that made her annoying for me was her putting herself up on volunteering herself. But then when she get back, she doing all this crying and stuff, and I'm like, like I don't know. It was like I don't know. I don't know, like she's about to go away somewhere. I don't know. It was just all the extra crying for mom, dad. I'm like, girl, we just at the beginning of the game. Like, calm down. But again, I had to tell myself, I don't know what it's like to be on the brink of going home, honey. I don't think Kelly was ever gonna go home because, well, if Zay would have won it, she would have went home. Period. She definitely would have went home. Now, if it was her and Zay still would have went home. So, There's that. But then I don't know. I can't say that. IDK. But what was funny was when everybody, learned who won and it came time to vote and they stood up and gave their speeches as to why they should stay, meaning Amy and Zay. Everybody got in the confessional and they voted once they got out. Once they got out of the confessional, we see where Zay was eliminated. Zach immediately starts crying. Riley starts to grab his face like he's crying too, and he hugs onto Zay tight like he's crying. And I said, baby, not you over here hugging onto this man tight like you didn't just go in there and vote for him. What? So you went in there and voted for this man and you want to be fake and act like you crying, but you better be glad that Zay said that he's not going to hold any of that against Riley because he knows that they're just playing a game. And he does hope to see Riley on the outside at some point and they could just hang out. Like it's all good. It's all love. He understands the game and it's cool. All right. So he definitely left out with good spirits and not sour at all. He also learned who was the accomplice or still is the accomplice. And he learns that it is indeed Amy. So that was interesting. But another thing I want to highlight before I go is how Rachel was only hugging Amy the entire time. And I can't blame her because Rachel was moving like, girl, fuck him. Fuck Zay. That's how she was moving. And of course, Amy goes over and she hugs Zay while Rachel pretty much stands back like, I don't... Okay, so it is what it is. They're going to sit up there and try and threaten my position. Then I'm going to threaten yours. I'm on your ass. How about that? Right? That was real interesting, wasn't it? Well, good luck. All right. So it's been good. The first few episodes that I've seen so far, the first 4 episodes, I have enjoyed Big Brother so far. And y'all let me know your thoughts. You guys wanted me to review it. So again, please make sure that you're liking up this video. You're subscribing to the channel as we're headed to 98,000 subscribers. You're also sharing this video. Sharing is caring. All right. Especially if you want me to continue to review the show. All right. Let me know that you're here. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me read your thoughts. Let me see you liking up the video, showing your support. So let's make sure we get the likes up. I thank you guys so much for being here. And that's all I got. I'm Jami, that's me. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell them I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel it.